Yo, what's going on, guys? So, hope you guys are doing well. I have another build for Alex here. This is using the new equipment. Now, please pause the video here if you want to have a better look at the build, because I might go over it a little quickly here, and I'll explain as I'm playing, but I might go over the things a bit too fast, so make sure you pause the video if you want to read everything. So you see I'm using there on the equipment the infection, the canister. I'm using the extra damage there. And I'm using the claws where you get more damage as well as a little bit more infection, and I'm using the virus so that the zombie doesn't go down very easily. Now I'm gonna show you two matches on this video using this build so you guys can have a better look. Now the virus there that I'm using, the third slot on the equipment, is level 3. The fourth slot, obviously there's only one level. The damage there increases level 1, and the infection canister there is level 3. So it costs 6 points for a total of 20. If you combine all of those. Now, as far as the, I think on the second match I will go over a little bit more, so you guys can pause the video and see the equipment and everything. So don't worry about that. Just keep watching the video. And as far as the passive abilities, a lot of people have been asking me to make builds with the new abilities. So I have one for Nicola as well that I'll be making a video on it soon. But as far as for Alex, this is the best I could think of so far. With the new abilities that she got on the September update. So going back to on the Otavio ability, I'm using the one where she recovers faster. You know, the recharge is faster, so you can use it more often. Now for the second passive ability on Alex, I'm using the one where she increases the damage. The higher their infection, the more damage they take out of from all the sources. So that's which is the new one that came out in September. That's the one I'm using here, which is the point of the build. If you see the name of the title is the damage build for Alex. So that's the whole idea here, is the damage. And on the third slot and final slot, I'm using the one for the traps, where the traps that explode, they do not affect, the area of effect of the explosion does not affect other traps, you know. So blowing one trap is not going to blow another trap that's right next to it. And also where it does not hit the zombies as well, the effect of the explosions of any sort of traps. And you see that goes into play a little bit here. So the reason why I have that, you could try using I just think that that's the best combo, honestly, because the idea is really the damage and getting some hits, as you will see here, as I go over the strategy a little more. So basically we're really just playing around the doors. This is really the idea of this build. You see, they have to open doors, right? So when they open the doors, that's when they're gonna get infected. You see you see right there the effect of the passive ability, where the explosion does not hit my zombies. So that's the reason right there. Because if they try to go through the door, they are likely gonna step on the traps. So, and because you have a zombie that's being controlled there, you essentially get a lot of free hits. You can even get a bite out of that single trap that they step on if they try to rush in. So you can kind of get some very easy kills that way, you know, like you see here. Because the damage is so high, and the higher infection they have, even higher the damage. The way that this build is set up, you can kill them with 6 swings. Okay, it's gonna take you 6 swings to kill them. So that's not a lot. It's actually, pretty quickly. So they're gonna go down very easy, especially if you get a bite in. Once they're and also they're gonna get infected with 3. They're gonna get infected with only 3 swings as well. Now the reason why I went for the Jill here, even though I was getting shot from behind, was because she was getting grabbed by the other zombie, and she was also already about to go down. So I wanted to capitalize on that instead of focusing on the person that was shooting me from behind. Also, the reason why I'm still debating if I want to use this or not, but the reason why I have the armored zombie on my deck is because the very good survivors, they're just gonna wait on the other side of the door, and they're gonna shoot you as soon as the first survivor opens the door, you know. So, and because of the knockback and everything, you kind of can't move because you're constantly getting knocked back. So the reason why the way I found to kind of fix that in a way is to use the armored zombie, because he has armored, so it's really hard to knock back at him from that close range, which is the door range here. He can be a kind of a nightmare from this range, you know, because of the armor and everything, especially if he has the helmet on, or maybe it's just the legs, you know. Sometimes only the arms. They're really hard to deal with from that range to aim that accurately. So essentially you're just gonna get free hits every time, you know, because they try to shoot him, to stun him, to down him, or just knock back him in general. But because of the armor, nothing happens. It just keeps swinging at them, which is the whole purpose of this build, is just swinging at them. So not only they get infected, but they also go down due to the high damage. And remember what I said, it's like 6 hits they're gonna go down, and 3 hits they're gonna get infected level, one level worth of infection, right? So as you can see right there, the first room was really where the damage shined there, and I was able to down them a lot. So now I'll still explain the build as we go on. So here I think I paused the video a little more. I think I paused on top of the build a little more. You see the preset, I'm using the infection as well. Right here I was about to test this, but I just figure it wasn't worth it. Because I still think the damage is worth more than the canisters itself. Like, I'm using all the canisters there, because increasing the damage also increases the amount of infection you apply. The only difference is that the canister applies, you know, is gonna help applying more infection when you're just standing there, you know, with the auras. But the damage is gonna help when you're actually swinging at them. But since the point of this build is really just swinging, you know, also another variation you can use there on the equipment is you can use damage level 2 too, which is the medium, and you can use a canister instead of the claws there that I'm using on the second slot right now. If you use that, you're gonna get the same effect as you're getting on this build. But the damage is like it's just like a few points lower. It's barely noticeable, but the damage is gonna be just a little lower if you do that way. But the trade-off is that your aura is gonna be 1 second faster, because, like I said, the infection canister helps more with the aura, but the damage helps more with the infection when you're actually hitting at them. So kind of a trade-off. The way it's set up right now is the one you get 20 points. The way that I just mentioned, you get 19 points. So there's 1 point left. I just thought, well, just to go with the 20, you know. And since the point is really not to focus on the aura effect, it's more so the damage and the you know, the swings and everything. You know, might as well go with that setup that gets 20 points, and there's also the damage. I wouldn't try to take off the virus for taking less damage there, because the zombies are, especially the weak zombies like I used. If you have a fat zombie, then yeah, maybe you can deal with that, but it's too expensive, you know. I like the cheap zombies, and also they give less time. So that's why I use the virus to take less damage to compensate for that low health, you know, because otherwise it's just gonna go down super quickly, especially if they're using the super strong weapons like the shotgun and things like that. So you definitely need that virus. You could theoretically increase the damage by a lot if you took off the virus, and for taking less damage, and just put a damage there. But I don't think it's worth it. I think the balance is better, you know. So you're kind of stronger on all areas. You're still effective enough, you know. You necessarily need that extra damage to have that kind of a, you know, scary damage on the build. So you see, again, like I said, I'm using the armor zombie, best one to hold the door like the way I do. And I also like to set the traps behind the doors in case they try to rush in, and not deal with my zombie, which is gonna make them step on the trap. And then, you know, that's when the second passive comes into play, where the zombies are not gonna get affected by the explosion. Neither will the other traps, and I can just keep getting free hits on them while they are stun locked by the explosion of the traps. This works really well as well with the what's it called, the air mine. This works super well because they're gonna get like stunned for, like, you see, like right now, like they get thrown away by the air. You can essentially get grabs. You know, you can do a lot of damage at this when they step on a mine like that. It doesn't affect the zombies. So that's the idea. That's why I have the air mine on the deck, is for that specific reason. And you see right here, 3 hits, she's infected, so she's coughing. And that's when, and she's gonna stop the cough. So if she's close enough, that's when you can also capitalize and get even more than 3 swings on her. And you see, again, it's like the armor is really hard to deal with because they have to be very accurate with the shot, and from that range, it's kind of tough. So that's why I put the armor there on the deck. And yeah, guys, that's the damage build. You can see here, you know. It's kind of hard to deal with because they kind of go down a lot. And I wouldn't change anything at all here on the deck. I mean, I don't know, but as you can tell, it just works really well. I'll try to get a match with this build against a really good SWAT team, so we can see like how hard it gets against a very good guy. I got a good team already, but they didn't. I think they did not get to area 3, so I didn't record that one. But as soon as I get a really hard match, I'll definitely record using this build. So hopefully I was able to explain a lot of the build so you guys can understand, and I'll definitely make more videos on this build. Alright, guys, so try it out. If you have any doubts or that, just comment on the video and I'll reply to you guys. And yeah, see you guys later. Take care.